Yo, what is going on, guys? Vortex Gaming here, and welcome to another episode of The Rise of TNA. We're on episode 12 or something like that. But yeah, this is the final episode of Impact before the TNA Genesis pay-per-view. Got an extra episode of TNA Explosion the day before, so on the Saturday, so tomorrow in game. But yeah, so in terms of kind of size, nothing really has changed. We're pretty popular in a few regions, but our importance is pretty much the same from when we started. And storyline wise, it's going okay. Mostly C's. That one's the highest with C+. Today's show, we are in the Sovereign Center in the tri-state area. So tempted to guess what state that is, but I'm not going to. I ain't gonna do it. Let's get straight into the show. Okay, so to start off, as always, we have our 6 dark matches. And this one, in an awful match that was completely devoid of heat. Hannah Blossom and Holly Blossom defeated Cheerleader Melissa and Noelle Foley in 6:23 when Hannah Blossom defeated Noelle Foley by pinfall with a wheelbarrow bulldog. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that, to be honest. Cheerleader Melissa, really the only good in-ring worker in this, good wrestler in this match. But I thought, this is how we'll start it off. Noelle Foley has debuted her ring announcer gimmick. Maybe, actually. She has absolutely no in-ring ability. So, yeah. Holly Blossom has debuted her anti-American gimmick, which got a 90 rating, which is good. Cheerleader Melissa and Noelle Foley showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Interesting. And Cheerleader Melissa looked excellent out there. She is actually incredible. Like, her stats, her in-ring stats are super good. Christ, that's a lot of negatives. That is a lot of negatives. Hannah Blossom's improving in technical skills though. So moving on. And I thought this match would actually be a little bit better. But Manic defeated Seema in a 55C-. So, yeah. No worker improvements. Moving on. And I suppose that's pretty decent. Velvet Sky defeated Brooke in a 56C-. No worker improvements. Next up, Blood Brothers of Magnus and Bram defeated the Red Arrows of Noam Dar and Zack Sabre Jr. in a 46D. Noam Dar was off his game. Eric Young defeated King Mo. I don't know who this guy is, but he's been on my roster since the start of this series. So yeah, that got a C-. No worker improvements. And I think there's one more. Yes. Okay, so Ricochet defeated Gunner and Matt Hardy in a 58C-. Matt Hardy is improving in performance skills. Gunner is improving in technical and performance skills. So yeah, let's get on with the show. And in a 70C+, Jim Ross and Mike Tenay hype up tonight's show and talk about the TV title tournament semi-final between Jeff Hardy and Lashley. They talk about the attack on the Hardys by the BDC last week and how they could be looking for revenge. They then say that Adam Cole has issued a challenge to EC3 and Tyrus, which was accepted. All Cole has to do now is find a tag team partner for the match. So, yes, I might actually cancel that turn because there's already 2 baby faces challenging for the title. So, yeah. No work improvements. Dirt sheet. Jeff was penalised for a hard drugs habit, and Matt was penalised for a drinking and soft drugs habit. Good going, Matt. I still haven't done that drug test. I need to do it. But 70C plus, not a bad way to start the show. So then, in the 68C plus, MVP makes his way down to the ring with his world title belt around his waist, flanked by the King of the Night, Kenny King, and the Destroyer, Lashley. MVP taunts the crowd with the TNA World Heavyweight title belt, calling them losers, and begins to talk about tonight's TV title tournament semi-final match against Jeff Hardy. He says that Hardy is a fool for showing up tonight after what happened last week on Impact, saying that he wouldn't be surprised if Jeff had a few broken ribs after taking Lashley's spear, and he probably has concussion too after his drive-by kick to the former world champ. MVP says that Lashley will beat Jeff Hardy and will then be EC3 to become the TNA television champion, and it won't be long before Kenny King is in the X Division title picture, and they will eventually bring all the gold to the BDC. So, yeah, not bad. No work improvements, so moving on. And in a B-, nice. So MVP then starts talking about Kurt Angle and claims that Angle has always had an agenda against the BDC, and the last couple of weeks since his suspension as the executive director has proven just that. MVP suggests that Kurt Angle should be removed from power as he has clear favourites, i.e. Bobby Roode. Kurt Angle then makes his way out to the ring, shocking MVP, and tells him that he has been reinstated, and his first order of business is to book MVP into a world title match. Angle goes to book a match for Kenny King, but is interrupted by Desmond Wolfe. Wolfe makes his way down to the ring and grabs a mic. He tells Angle that he must have misheard him on the phone, and tells Angle that he has indeed been reinstated on the active roster. The board of directors have decided that Angle's dislike for MVP has affected his ability to perform at an appropriate level, and they needed to take action before it's too late. Wolfe reveals that he himself will take over as general manager of Impact. So that's moved on a couple of segments, and a nice fat B-. No work improvements. All bonuses on the dirt sheet, which is all good. So, and another B-. I'm liking the start of this show. So Desmond Wolfe then says that his first order of business is finding a number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Angle volunteers himself, but Wolfe decides that Bobby Roode still needs a fair rematch, but seeing as Angle has his own problems with MVP, he's come up with a solution. Tonight in the main event, Bobby Roode will face Kurt Angle, with the winner going on to the main event TNA Genesis and facing MVP for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. MVP tries to argue that neither Roode or Angle deserve a title shot, but Wolfe isn't having any of it. Wolfe tells him that if MVP doesn't put his title on the line at the Genesis pay-per-view, then he'll have no option but to strip him of the world title. MVP is shocked as Wolfe leaves the ring whilst Angle has a smile on his face. Roode versus Angle happens tonight. So again, moving on the storyline, still no work improvements and still all bonuses on the good old dirt sheet. Moving on into the first match of the night, which is a C-, which is a bit of a drop. So in a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat, the Revolution defeated Loki and Samoa Joe when James Storm defeated Samoa Joe by pinfall following interference from the Great Sonata. And during the match, we also had Manic distract Samoa Joe. So basically, Manic distracted Samoa Joe and then Sonata attacked him from behind. But, yeah, moving on. Actually, penalised for length, so it's too long. Moving on into a 61C. So James Storm hits the last call on the charging Loki as Manic slides into the ring with a microphone and gives it to James Storm. Storm kneels down and cradles Loki in his arms. Sounds weird. It sounded alright when I typed it, but now I've said it, it sounds a bit weird. He tells Loki that if it didn't have to be like this. If Loki had just pledged his allegiance to the Revolution, Loki would never have lost because the Revolution work as a team. Storm tells Loki that Joe had cost him this match, but he needs a big opportunity to prove Joe's kind of what's the word? I don't know, the fact that basically the big opportunity to prove that Loki needs the Revolution. then that's what I'll have to give them. Or to prove that Joe's not a good partner or something. Again, it sounded good when I wrote it. Storm pushes Loki away and stands up to tell everyone that at TNA Genesis, the Revolution will defend the TNA World Tag Team Championships against Samoa Joe and the X Division champion Loki. So Loki worked the crowd well, using the freedom to improvise to his advantage, but Mannix struggled because Loki wasn't following a script. So, yeah. Moving on into a 58C minus. In a backstage interview with JB, Jeff and Matt Hardy reveal that they plan to level the playing field in tonight's TV title tournament semi-final. JB asks how they plan to do that, but Jeff tells JB that a magician never reveals his secrets, but he may need the help of an old friend. So, no work or improvements. So, low momentum. I saw Jeremy Boris's name and then Hard Drugs Habit. I was like, what? But yeah, not too bad. Moving on. So Desmond Wolfe is arranging his new desk when MVP bursts into his office. He urges him to rethink the number one contendership situation, claiming that Rude has had more than his fair share of chances and that Angle is a washed-up has-been who couldn't wrestle his way out of a paper bag. Wolfe tells MVP that his decision was final, and that because he needs a warm-up ahead of Genesis, that he has decided to book him in a match on Saturday's one-off episode of Explosion against an old friend, Matt Hardy. Obviously, they had a feud over the US Championship in WWE. I think they were tag team champions as well at the same time. It's weird. But yeah, Wolfe once again waves away MVP's protests and wishes him luck as MVP storms out of Wolfe's office. Wolfe chuckles to himself before continuing to sort out his desk. No work3improvements. 63C. I was hoping that'd be better, but pardon me. Pre-booking. I think I've already booked them all in, haven't I? Yeah, I've already booked all the matches in. Right. So, moving on. Adam Cole and Maria Kanellis are shown walking around backstage, seemingly looking for a tag team partner. Gonna know him Dara in there because I forgot to write in that they turned him down. But the announcer says that he'd better find one quick because his tag team match against EC3 and Tyrus is next. No work improvements. So moving on. And 66C plus. EC3 and Tyrus make their way down to the ring and EC3 grabs a mic. He says that they've held up their side of the deal. He then tells Cole to get down to the ring so that he can beat him and his tag partner. Adam Cole and Maria Kanellis make their way out onto the top of the ramp and EC3 begins mocking him. He says that this is going to be too easy, and Cole tells him to slow down and that his tag team partner is hungry for the win. The Wolves music hits and the now solo Eddie Edwards comes out and Cole, Edwards and Kanellis make their way to the ring. So yeah, obviously Eddie Edwards now on his own because Davey Richards signed a written deal with Ring of Honor. The bastards. And since then, they've signed Austin Aries, Homicide, and Shark Boy. I'm not too bothered about Shark Boy. But yeah, so they've taken a couple of guys, man, and I was going to push Austin Aries hard. Like, this TV title tournament was just the start of that push, which is so annoying. But anyway, back to this. So yeah, I'm going to have him team with Adam Cole for a little bit. It's literally going to be like a month at the most. And then I might, push him towards that TV title. Because he is actually pretty good. So, yeah. Moving on. And the match itself is pretty disappointing. But in a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat, Adam Cole and Eddie Edwards defeated EC3 and Tyrus when Adam Cole defeated EC3 by pinfall following a turn by Tyrus. And Adam Cole and Eddie Edwards actually have great chemistry. Did they ever team together in Ring of Honor? Listen to me criticising Ring of Honor taking my workers when probably 50% of the TNA roster once worked for Ring of Honor. EC3 is improving in Rumble skills. That's good to know. So, anyway, moving on. Adam Cole and Eddie Edwards begin celebrating their win over EC3 and Tyrus when Tyrus chases them out of the ring. Tyrus attacks EC3, eventually setting up a table in the ring and hitting a chokeslam through it before grabbing a mic. Tyrus says that ever since entering TNA, EC3 has used him as a personal assistant, making him do all his dirty work, whilst keeping him in his shadow, and frankly, he's had enough. Tyrus challenges EC3 to an I Quit match at TNA Genesis, saying that it's now his time, and that if he accepts, he should call his mama, because he's going to be in a whole world of hurt. Yeah. I'm not proud of that line. I never should have typed that. I'm sorry, Tyrus. I'm sorry. But seriously, TNA in real life, they should just change his gimmick. Change his ring gear, change his hair. Give him a moveset with just like 5 to 10 big impact moves and just have him destroy everybody. I don't like that thumb poke, jump up, punch finisher thing that he does. It's stupid. But yeah. Just take him away from the Brodus Clay thing, please, TNA. Please. He's wearing the exact same ring gear. He has the same hair. All he's done is grow a beard. Hell, they even had a disco ball on YouTube. They showed that he was scared of disco balls. I kid you not. I will put a link to that video in the description. And if you haven't checked it out, please do. It is so stupid. But anyway. Eddie Edwards and Adam Cole are both improving at acting, which is good. And just only Tyrus penalised. But yeah, the reason for this is EC3 signed a written deal with Ring of Honor. They're taking everybody. And Dixie Carter, she won't let me offer them big contracts to keep them. So we're losing all our workers, and the bitch that owns the company is saying, yeah, they can have them, pretty much. So annoying. But anyway, moving on. The cameras head backstage where we find Kenny King warming up ahead of the semi-finals of the TV title tournament. From out of nowhere, Matt and Jeff attack, hitting both. Matt and Jeff attack with both hitting a twist of fate before leaving. So yeah, basically they've taken Kenny King out so that he can't help them later on in the show. No work improvements. Same old crap in that one. Oh, excuse me. I've got some anyway. 61C. Next up, 65C. Gail Kim makes her way down to the ring to publicly apologise for attacking Taryn Terrell earlier in the week at TNA Explosion. Gail says that she's been out of the title picture for a while and that she felt it was the only way to get her noticed, to kind of get herself into the title picture. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what's the matter with me today. Taryn then makes her way out and says that if Gail wanted a title match, all she had to do was ask. Taryn then accepts Gail Kim's apology before telling everyone that she's going to defend her Knockouts title against Gail Kim right now. So we have an impromptu Knockouts title match. And it's not a bad kind of intro to it. 65C, what did the match get? Damn, that shit. That is awful. So in the match, I had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Taryn Terrell defeated Gail Kim with a diving crossbody. Taryn makes defense number 1 of her TNA Women's Knockout title. So, yes. I know they're both babyfaces, but yeah. I don't get this whole, oh, you can't have a babyface against babyface. You know? Companies do it all the time. Like just this week, Bobby Roode faced Austin Aries. They're both baby faces. You know? They've got WWE have got Daniel Bryan going against Roman Reigns. They're both baby faces. So, I don't know. But it's just part of this game, I suppose. But anyway, moving on into a 64C. So Havoc makes her way down to the ring as Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell celebrate together and attacks the two knockouts. She chokeslams Taryn onto Gail Kim and lays over the two as the fans count to 3. Pardon me. Havoc then holds the Knockouts title in the air, sending a message to the Knockouts champion Taryn. I've got something, like, just in my... Oh, man. Anyway. Sorry, guys. I just keep feeling the need to burp. I don't know why, but... Anyway, moving on. And in 69C+, Lashley and MVP make their way out and order the Hardys to get out to the ring. Instead of the Hardys showing up, Desmond Wolfe comes out. He says that he's sorry for the inconvenience, but he couldn't help but notice how every match seemed to be very repetitive, and that he couldn't just have just an ordinary show for such a big match. He says that therefore this match will take place, and he points up, in 6 sides of steel. MVP and Lashley are in the ring furious, and MVP yet again grabs a mic as the steel cage lowers and claims that Wolf also has an agenda against him and that he shouldn't be general manager. So, yeah, basically, MVP is just crying at everything, like he does. And yeah, so let's move on. Okay, so after a minute of... I haven't genuinely typed that. I thought I just said it wrong. So, after a minute or 2 of protesting, MVP finally tells the Hardys to get down here so that Lashley can cut Hardy in half again. Matt comes out to the normal Hardys music, but then some new music plays, and out comes Willow. Just pretend this is Willow. So Willow makes his way down to the ring as Lashley looks on confused. This must have been the old friend that Hardy spoke about earlier. So, yeah, 68C+. No work improvements. The match itself, again, really poor. All these matches have just been poor. Wow. Really annoying. But In About That had a good crowd and good action. Yeah, only got C-. Jeff Hardy defeated Lashley in a 1v1 steel cage modern match. Just call it a steel cage match. What's all this? It's just a steel cage match. Anyway, by pinfall... No, he escaped the cage. I swear this game sometimes just changes things by itself. Anyway, he was supposed to escape the cage. Fucking game. Anyway, moving on. In 74B-, MVP and Lashley are both pissed off that Willow was able to climb his way out the cage. They argue amongst themselves, and it's clear that Lashley feels MVP should have been able to stop Willow despite Matt Hardy's attack on MVP. That's really annoyed me. But anyway, moving on. So Austin Aries makes his way out to the ring, walking with a crutch and a neck brace. Aries tells the crowd that what EC3 and Tyrus did to him on Explosion had almost ended his career. Aries says that he's been forced to quit TNA to go get specialist treatment, but vows to one day return to TNA and win the World Heavyweight Championship, and the fans chant Aries' name as he leaves the arena. So yeah, just my way of writing Aries out of TNA. So, not too bad as a kind of random segment. But anyway, Jim Ross and Mike Tenay hyped tonight's main event, guaranteeing either Bobby Roode or Kurt Angle a shot at MVP's World Heavyweight Championship, with the loser facing the winner of the title match at the next pay-per-view. So, either Bobby Roode or Kurt Angle face MVP at this one, and then they either face each other, or the loser of this match faces MVP at the next pay-per-view. Yeah. Yeah, just kind of ignore me. But anyway, moving on. And the main event. Yay! In About that featured great action an average heat. Bobby Roode defeated Kurt Angle by submission with the kind of STO that he does. STO? Crossface. Why did STO come into my head? I don't know. Basically, he does a yes lock, and yeah. Yeah, got this match to be called in the ring because they both have excellent chemistry. They have great psychology, but didn't go too well. Anyway, moving on. Bobby Roode has defeated Kurt Angle and will face MVP at TNA Genesis for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Angle walks up to Bobby Roode and raises his hand in victory before leaving Roode to celebrate his win. And I think that's it. It is. And it got a C+, which is better than I thought it would get, to be honest. But, yeah. Increased our popularity in 22 regions and lost its popularity in 6 regions. So that wasn't too bad. We will see you in a minute for the final roundup. Okay, so let's go see what we did. Dave Kapoor. Who's Dave Kapoor? He's a writer for Raw, but also appears as Ranjin Singh. Oh, he used to manage the Great Khali. Yeah, I'm not interested. They've actually offered him a new contract as well. Christ. So let's have a look. Oh, we got a 1.74, which is up from last week, which is really good. WWE have altered their terms, offered their contract. They've altered their contract offer to Nikki Bella. She's shit anyway. I went in like, oh, that would be a good signing. Yeah. No, it won't. She is pretty over though, to be fair. That's the wrong one. She's more over than any of our knockouts. So. But anyway. So Homicide is left. And Austin Aries. It's a sad, sad day. It's a sad, sad day. Let's have an Austin Aries montage. And we're done. So, Mike Knox. I'll pass. He can go. I don't use him anyway, so. Have I looked at everything now? Yes. Okay. If you like the video, then leave a like because it's finished. That's the worst way to end a video ever. But yeah, do that and let us know what you think of the video in the comment section. We've got an episode of TNA Explosion and an episode of TNA Genesis coming up, so don't miss that. And also we've got some Football Manager videos coming. They've been coming for a long time, but they are coming. I've just been having loads of fun booking this. I've actually kind of started writing it up before I go in to choose all the angles, which has actually helped out a lot. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.